Hello my friends, welcome to this channel. I'm Anna and I help you grow beautiful and healthy plants. In this video I'm going to show you how you can easily propagate your Hoyas, and I'm gonna show you also the soil that I use for all of my Hoyas because now they grow so much faster, so I will definitely recommend you that soil. And I'm going to also show you how you can propagate it in water or also directly in the soil. So let's start. Here you can see that I have a tiny cutting of Hoya linearis and I put it directly in the water, and here are the roots. And this is already enough to be planted, which I'm gonna do also today. I will plant it in the soil so that it continues to grow in the soil. This is definitely one of the methods, and I'm gonna also show you how to make cuttings. And this one is my bigger Hoya that I just bought, to be honest, yesterday. I had already this Hoya, but this pot was so full. And to be honest, I bought it because some stems are broken, and if they were neglected and no one would buy them for a couple of days, these stems would be rotten or would get dry. But basically this one is Hoya croniana, if I pronounce it right, Eskimo. And here you can see that there are several plants in it. Absolutely beautiful plant. I've already washed it yesterday. That's actually one of the things that I do with all of my plants when I bring them home. I definitely wash them so that in case there are any insects, pests, dust, anything that should not be there would be washed away. And now I am gonna take some cuttings. The thing is that I will not take extra cuttings, but I would like to show you how you can make cuttings if you want to. But I'm gonna use basically the stems that are already broken, and here you can see that some leaves are smashed, and here you can clearly see that it's broken. From here it's broken, but here we have a node with two leaves, even though the leaves are also damaged. This is a physical damage, but this is absolutely good cutting to be propagated from. So this one I'm gonna cut from here because it's already broken, and from here as well. Let's do it. For that I'm not gonna use scissors because scissors sometimes can damage the tissue if they are not really sharp, but I'm gonna use a razor. And basically I will cut right from here, from the broken part, and this one I'm gonna see it's almost broken, but I will just need to cut it from here. And you may want to also work with Hoyas in gloves because sometimes they have sap, very often I would say. In this case I don't really have that much sap coming out from these cuttings because these are basically already damaged parts of the stem because, as I've mentioned, it was broken. But this is a perfect cutting if we want to propagate it just this way, or you can also cut it in between the nodes. So if you cut from several places, you will have several cuttings. And this one, again, even though the leaves don't look healthy, but this is a physical damage, and the leaves will still be fine to produce new plants, new growth, and then eventually they will of course get dry. But now we have two cuttings already. And there were some other stems broken as well. Well, here you see some leaves are absolutely damaged. We can remove them. So see, this stem also from here is damaged. It's because basically when the stores receive a lot of plants and they are packed together, this can of course happen. Sometimes even the customers are not so careful pulling the plants from the rows and trying to pick the best one, but in this process they also damage some. So these are our next cutting. Then let's see if we have anything else. I hope it won't be too many because I want this plant to be bushy plant. Look, here we have even roots growing already, but it seems, yeah, see, from here it's broken. So again, we can cut it like this. Again, no sap because I think that place was already damaged enough, and there's no sap anymore. It's almost dry. And this one is quite a long one. If we want, we can cut this one from here, and for sure we will have sap coming out from this node. And we can plant it, basically we can have two cuttings out of this one. You can see that there are already roots growing. If we would cut between all of the nodes, we can directly plant it in the soil. So let's cut one more from here. Remove the leaves so that you don't really cut them. I've done it once. All right. See, this is the sap. And this is not so good for your skin. You can have irritation or it can be itchy a little bit. Some people are allergic to it, some not. So that's why I recommend it to work in gloves. I don't really have any allergy. You don't need to have an allergy. It can just happen. So this sap, you're just wiping it off, and you can wait for a couple of hours before you would plant them or put them in the water, or it doesn't really matter, to be honest. I just dry it off. After 2 minutes they are ready to be planted or to be put in water. So we have more cuttings here. Let's see. I hope that these stems are healthy. I will just remove here. It's fine. This is also fine. Such a beautiful plant. I definitely recommend Hoyas to anyone because they are amazing plants for beginners, but also for people who have already many plants, because first you can grow them on trellis, then you can grow them as hanging plants, and if they bloom, oh my god, they're just adorable. I have already, I would say, a bigger collection of Hoyas, I think close to 30 if not more. And I know that I've promised you to record a video about my collection, about my varieties with names, but I haven't done it yet. Maybe it's the time. All right, I think these are okay, so I will put it back. I don't want to cut it more because that's the purpose why I bought this. I want a bushier plant. So now let's see, we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, and this smaller one. Well, now I am going to show you the soil, and the soil is this one, specifically made for Hoyas. This is Saiba soil from Saibotanica, the company. It's peat-free and it has 6 months of organic fertilizers, and it's based on worm castings. And why worm castings? Because they are 100% organic, packed with lots of nutrients and minerals. This is not a sponsored video. They did send me this soil to test a couple of months ago, and after that, to be honest, I plant most of my plants in this soil, not only Hoyas, because first of all, I really like how chunky it is. Second of all, already tested it on my Hoyas, and I just noticed how fast they grow now. So I have already my pachira in it, my inch plants in it, and some other plants as well. So I definitely recommend it. If you would like to try it out, you can also use the code and you will get 10% discount. Now let's quickly plant them. So this is the soil, and these cuttings, again, either you can put them in water and they will continue to grow roots, but as we can see here, these are aerial roots that are already there. So basically I can just plant them directly in the soil and they will continue to grow. This leaf, I think I'm going to remove this one because it's damaged, and yeah, I will remove this leaf also. It will stay under the soil or under the water and it will get rotten. But these are now amazing cuttings to be planted, and I'm gonna plant them also directly in the soil. Let's start from our Hoya linearis that got roots in water, tiny but already enough to be planted. Where is the pot? Here. I'm gonna plant it first in this small plastic pot with drainage holes, and of course, world's greatest ideas, it will be in this coffee cup. I think it's cute. Well, it's very easy to plant it. You do it just like this. Small hole here. There's a big bark in here. so I'm gonna remove it. But you can already feel how good the soil is. The quality is amazing, and I wish you could smell how it smells. Just like a fresh forest after the rain. Okay, just like this. Now, if you are not that experienced with Hoyas, you can maybe put your first freshly planted Hoyas in some sort of a greenhouse so that the air humidity around your plant will be increased basically. And in this way, your Hoyas will grow roots in the soil even easier. But it's absolutely not necessary. Just a little bit of water and this plant is ready to go to my shelves. Next, these cuttings. So I have here 1, 2, 3 pots, and I think I'm gonna plant them all separately or 2 in 1, and I'm gonna swap these or maybe even sell, let's see. But basically I have already 3 of these Hoyas, so this is 1, and then I have a smaller one, and then I have an average one also, but I want all of them because I have an idea. I want to hang them from the ceiling with the wooden sticks, so they will be just amazing in that way. But I don't want 6 of them, of course. So let's see. I think I will plant this one maybe separately. What do you think? Yeah, this one will go separately, and then I will plant this one and this smaller one here, and then these 2 will go together. I put a little bit soil first, of course, at the bottom of the pots. Then I will put the cuttings in the center, and I'm gonna also put soil around it from all sides. Don't worry if some leaves will stay under the soil. It's not a big deal. Usually, of course, you try to avoid it because these leaves can get rotten and eventually cause root rot or stem rot. But at this point, I think nothing dangerous, and you can normally have these leaves also under the soil. So I'm gonna keep this one like this, maybe a little bit higher. Perfect. Okay, so like this, all my Hoyas grow in a very bright area, I must say, but they don't really see sunlight. But to be honest, I would like my Hoyas to see a little bit of sunlight as well, because I think in this case they would just start blooming faster. I think in my case they just started to grow because of this soil, but to bloom I think they will need to see a little bit of more sunlight. Okay, or you can also use, of course, some additional lamps. And of course, the most important for Hoyas, air humidity. That also should be optimal for them. So, we planted the Hoyas. This is how you can plant all of your Hoyas, how you can propagate them. You can put the cuttings in the water or directly in the soil, because as you have seen, if you have higher air humidity, then your Hoyas will grow aerial roots already on the mother plant. And then your cuttings will be ready to be planted at any time. If you have any questions, please, of course, write under the comment section under the video. Share the video with your friends who love plants. Of course, subscribe also to our newsletter, and you will also learn about the course coming up very soon. And stay passionate about plants. I will see you in the next one.